Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Friday once again.
Get ready to go to the club.
Yeah, we're gonna go out tonight, so it's the first Memento Mori at the new place.
Yeah.
It's the same place we've been going to for the past few Saturdays.
Yeah.
But this is the first goth night there.
Right.
Because Saturday is like 80s new wave. And some goth too, but you know what I
mean. Yeah.
So we'll see how this goes. You know, they said they're kind of doing that as a Halloween party, but I didn't really have time to like get a fucking costume together, so because I had work and
I'm just so busy.
Yeah, and then I was just kind of like, well, I have to get ready before the Sidetracks show, like, so we can leave like immediately after, and you know, and I have a costume that I'm probably gonna wear on the Wednesday night show because that's Halloween Eve, but I didn't get all of the components until late in the day today, so I wouldn't have been able to do that anyway.
Yep, AC in the car went out.
Yeah, well,
it's not even holding any refrigerant now. So I got some other stuff, some UV dye, and I have a UV flashlight. So I'm going to inject that in there, turn it on, and with that flashlight at night I'll be able to find out where that leak is and make a decision whether or not I can fix it or send it to somebody else to be fixed. But, you know, fucking hate working on AC. It's expensive.
Man, he was like that UV flashlight you got. He was like shining it around the house, and I was like,
you're just amazed at what's on the carpet and what's on the walls and shit.
I was like,
you can't see with your naked eye, but
we're at hotel hell in this place.
Yeah, yeah. It's just, you know, and everywhere is just like that. You know, there's a lot of stuff that you can't see, that the human eye can't pick up.
Well, yeah, that's why they tell. That's why I would be too, like, because remember when we used to watch Gordon Ramsay did? I think it's called Hotel Hell, right?
Yeah.
And he would go in there and shine the fucking UV light on there.
Yeah.
I guess they do that on Another Dirty Room, too. I said, I'd be scared to do that.
Yeah, I could find spots on the carpet where the cats threw up.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah. I remember when that happened.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Cleaning up the barf.
Yeah.
I remember that, too. Yeah. They've kind of barfed everywhere.
Hairballs.
Yeah.
Throwing up hairballs and shit.
They don't throw up that much. Oh, I did clean up some throw up today. I don't know who was responsible.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Here. Something about the cat food. They just do it consistently. It's weird.
I think they eat too fast.
Eat too fast and they don't get enough fiber.
Well, that's what, because I got some fiber supplement.
Yeah.
So we'll see if they eat it. Because I got some before, like, because Pookie was having little butt problems, but she didn't really like it. It's just pumpkin. It's not anything weird. Phantom said, will Jenny and Tom carve a pumpkin for Halloween and eat the seeds?
Probably not. Well, we'll see.
I might carve one. I always like doing one just because, you know, for tradition's sake. We did actually cook the seeds didn't we put like maple syrup on there and then like roasted them in the oven?
Yeah.
They were pretty fucking good.
Yeah, roast them on a sheet pan.
Yeah, and then we used the pumpkin for stuff. Like, we made bread or curry or something.
I just cooked it and then froze the meat. Cook it and blend it into a paste. And you can freeze that. You can use it for anything.
Yeah.
Pumpkin pie filling. Soup, base for a soup. You can use it in curries.
Yeah, pumpkin soup. I love pumpkin soup.
It's good. You know, I think I still got some, though.
Do you really?
I think I still have some back in there. I got to go look. If not, you know.
Make some pumpkin soup then.
Yeah. The best place to get it is right after the holidays when all the prices on them go down.
Yeah, but that's no fun. I might go get a little one, though. They got them at Publix. I didn't see how much they were. And I got my little carbon kit down there.
Yeah, there's a farm closing down here. They had a sign out in front of it. Free blueberry bushes. So I went down there and got some.
Oh, you didn't tell me they were free.
Yeah, they were free. Got 8 of them.
Shit, man.
Yeah, 8, and then I got like 10 very small blackberry bushes. They're thornless. So we'll see how that goes. They're still in pots out there.
We're probably gonna have blueberries and blackberries out the wazoo. I don't know what
we're
gonna do with all
not
those.
till next year probably.
We already got a bajillion peppers that we don't know what to do with.
I'm drying them out.
They just keep growing, man.
Yeah, I just dry them out in the air fryer.
Yeah.
Dry them out in there and then just fucking been blending them and putting them in jars. So it's just, you know, pepper flakes. And you can also put it in a grinder. I got like a coffee grinder. You can put it in that and it'll just kind of chew it down into dust, just so you have like chili powder. That'll work.
I told you, it's like there's so many growing back there. It's like you could start your own fucking hot sauce business. Because
They grow well.
We'll never use them all.
They grow real well.
There's piles.
Yeah.
CB said, isn't every day Halloween at Tom and Jenny's? Pretty much. I mean, but Halloween is still like super special though. But it is kind of like creepy. 24/7.
Yeah.
365 around here. That's the way we like it though. Ira says pumpkin donuts are good, especially without the sweet coat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. I was at Dollar General the other day and they had a little bag for $1 or $2 or something like that of pumpkin spice donuts. Like little mini ones. And I got some. Those are pretty fucking good. I was having a couple of those with coffee in the morning. Oh, we went to the store yesterday and got like a whole selection of flavored creamers, like from the fancy new coffee maker, because I make like big pots of coffee now, just because I have that. So what did we get? We got brown butter chocolate chip cookie, peppermint mocha, pumpkin spice, I think.
Pumpkin spice.
And Snickers.
Yeah.
That Snickers is pretty good. I must admit. Yeah, I opened it. But it was good, yeah. Old Russell said she make blackberry jam.
I'm going to get my glasses. I gotta get my glasses.
I mean, with all those blueberries, you're going to have to make some fucking muffins and shit, too.
Yeah.
Blueberry muffins. I'm not a huge fan of blueberries. I do like blueberry muffins, but blueberries to me don't really taste like much of anything. Or blackberries either. Like, they have a taste, but it's not real pronounced, Phantom says stuffed peppers are banging mixed with pasta noodles. Ooh, that does sound good, doesn't it? They're mostly like hot peppers. We have like bell peppers also, and a lot of hot peppers are just like too hot. I can't really eat them. It tears my stomach up. So a lot of it, like Tom got to eat it because I can't eat it. So that's why I'm saying he should start a sauce business. Phantom said there should be a fast food joint that specializes in shish kebabs. Yeah, I wonder why there's not. Like, I feel like there's little, like, I don't know, maybe like food trucks, but they're so easy. I mean, they're so easy to make. I mean, I guess they take a while, but still. Yeah, I wonder why. I wonder a lot of things, like why there's not a lot of, like, specific kind of foods that don't have, like, fast food chains, you know what I mean? He's wondering why there's not a fast food chain that makes shish kebabs. Cliven says, am I blocked? No. As far as I know, nobody is blocked. Not from here. I never blocked anybody, unless you did.
No.
Little.
I've only blocked robots.
Oh, okay.
And you can't really block one anymore. What you can do that's kind of better is hide the user from the channel.
Yeah.
So you get the views, and the viewer sees the show. They can comment, but they're the only ones that sees their comments.
Yeah.
Nobody else sees them.
I do kind of like that better.
Yeah. We probably got about a dozen to maybe 20 of those.
Because then they can't cry.
Yeah.
I guess.
They don't even know what's happening.
And they don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
So they can't go, I'm being persecuted.
Yeah. They don't even know what's happening.
They're just like pissing into the wind.
When you're a channel, they give you a bunch of user tools. When I'm in fucking moderator mode, because I can flick over to enter the account as a monitor on this channel, and you can see all the comments, and if that a user makes, in other words, you can see a user making a comment, and you can click on that user and kind of like see every comment that person has made on your channel.
Yeah. Going
backwards in time, 10 years or whatever. So you can see them all. And that's quite a powerful tool because you can tell how long somebody's been with you. And
if they have a habit of saying stupid shit.
And if they're in the habit of saying stupid shit or not. And sometimes you can just go, yeah, okay, let's hide this user. And they just kind of like...
Yeah, you just keep on talking,
they're still watching, but they never...
Cliven says, where are you guys? I'm from Norway. We're in
Florida.
Central Florida. Not too far outside of Orlando.
Yeah.
Actually, about 25, 30 miles outside of Orlando. That's where we're at. But yeah, like you were saying, the fucking AC in the car is broken. But thankfully, it's
cool
not.
tonight, though.
It's nice and cool tonight.
Yeah.
So
It's going to be in the 60s Fahrenheit.
Which wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's almost like a season.
Yeah.
Or something. It'll probably be hot again tomorrow. It was hot today. It was how much? It was like fucking
80s.
It was in the 80s.
High 80s, maybe 88.
Like 88, 89,
Yep.
something like that.
100% humidity. Always.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's fucking muggy.
Yeah. Although the other day we went out during the day and it was nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I went out the door and I don't know what the temperature was, but I was just like, like it felt like autumn. Like autumn in Florida. Anyway. I was like, oh my God, it doesn't feel like a fucking swamp out here. It's amazing. Cliven says Florida is bucket list.
Yeah.
Wants to come here.
Yeah, you'd like it.
I mean, maybe.
Well, it depends on what it is where it is you go and what is it you're looking for. You know.
There's a lot of stuff to do. It's not just
theme parks.
Yeah, I mean the theme parks are fun though.
Yeah, but it's not just that.
But it's not just that. There's lots of other stuff. Like there's a lot of beaches if you're into that. There's all kind of like cool history shit if you're into that.
Yeah, South Florida
swamps.
South Florida is kind of like a tropical version of New York City, Miami.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that live there, some of the new residents are from New York. But you go around Miami-Dade County, you know, fucking some of those places, you know, Spanish is the first language. English would be like a second language down there. And because Florida was originally part of the Spanish Empire. It got purchased in the 1700s by President Jackson. He bought it from Spain, but they didn't have much choice. They had to sell it, and there was like a Seminole War was going on. The Seminoles were kind of like mercenaries of Spain at the time. Some of them were, not all of them, but part of the peace treaty was here's what Florida's worth. Get the fuck out of here. And the Spanish Empire was like, yeah, okay, because they really were having a hard problem holding on to it, and it wasn't super profitable for them anyway. Empires didn't really work in the way that they thought they were going to.
Yeah, Cliven said it's cold here and it's getting colder. Snow soon.
Yeah.
Wow, what's that like? It'll be hot here until... I mean, the nights and the mornings are nice, are kind of like cool, like in the 60s and 70s, which is nice for us. But during the day, it's like usually in the 80s.
Yeah.
Every now and then you get a cold day. But that's usually not till January or February. Then it starts getting hot again. And he said, don't you have those rocket launches? Yeah, we have...
I see them from my bedroom window.
Yeah. Because Cape Canaveral is, how many miles is that from here? I'm not real sure. It wasn't that far. Like, I grew up in Daytona Beach, which is on the east coast of Florida. We're in central Florida now, like in the middle of the state. But Cape Canaveral was only about 50 miles south of me. So we used to drive down, when the space shuttle used to go up in the 80s, we used to drive down and see the launches. You know what I mean? But you can still see them. You can see them from...
You can see them here.
From the window.
The thing is that some of it's SpaceX.
Yeah.
The thing is that the boosters don't land here, I don't think. They take off, but I don't think the boosters land here. They land somewhere else. Or they don't land in a place where I can see them from my bedroom window. I'll be sitting here and I'll see something out in the sky like, what the fuck is that? It'll look like a long spike. And I go, it's a rocket. And I'll flip it over into YouTube and get a live stream on that launch. And fucking, it's it. That's what it is. It's, it's a space-ass rocket, But, just see it all the time. It's just kind of common now.
Senior Stick says, how are the gator farms? I've never been to one. There's kind of one famous one in Miami or in South Florida. I've been to the one in St. Augustine, like several times. It's kind of like, they call it the alligator farm, but it's like, it's a tourist thing. You can go there and they take care of alligators. They have other animals too. So it's kind of like a zoo, but it's mostly alligators. And they have crocodiles also. Yeah. You can watch them get fed and stuff. It's actually pretty fun.
Yeah, Florida's known for gators. And you see a lot of videos that are real of alligators walking through neighborhoods.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah, but I've never seen one here in Florida. I've seen them in Louisiana. I've never seen one here in Florida.
I saw one running across the highway one time.
Yeah. They mostly live in lakes, and they stay in the lake. Sometimes they'll switch lakes, and that's where you're seeing them. You're seeing them switching
I'm just
lakes.
going to this lake over
Or they'll
here.
get into the damn lakes inside the artificial lakes inside a damn golf course, and walk from one little fucking pond to the next. They'll do that.
So you're out there playing golf, and all of a sudden, like an 18-foot alligator's
Yeah,
walking
walking
You're
to
like,
the
hey,
other
bro.
lake. Yeah, yeah, but they're not as. I mean, they're everywhere, but you don't really see them. We've seen a lot more black bear,
we
than
see
alligators.
bears everywhere.
Yeah,
Bears and deer.
bear, deer, raccoons, possum,
Armadillos.
armadillos. Yeah,
Even otters. I've seen some otters every now and then, too. Snakes.
big otter. Otters, 5 feet long is what they look like.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the tail and everything.
Also asked, how is the gator meat? I've only eaten alligator like one time in my whole life, and I just remember it being kind of like chickeny fish. Or fishy chicken.
Yeah, it's a weird flavor.
Kind of. It's not bad. It's just kind of odd.
I've never had it cooked sufficiently well, I think, for me to enjoy it too much. It's dry and flaky. Like dry and flaky chicken. It has a slightly weird fishy flavor to it, but it's not fish, it's something else, and it's reptile, You can only eat the tail.
Yeah.
And I've only had it barbecued. And it doesn't reheat real well. You got to eat it while it's hot. And it gets kind of dry. There must be a better way to cook it, but it's not that much of a food animal. It's not real prized or sought after for food.
Yeah, it's not, even in Florida, it's kind of like a stunt dish.
It's more like something more like a stunt.
Yeah, like you go to, there's a lot of restaurants like especially like on the sides of rivers and stuff that are kind of like, hey, Gators Dockside or whatever. I think that is actually a restaurant down here. But they'll have like mostly like fresh fish and stuff like that. But then they'll have like one gator thing on there. And it's like, I don't know how popular it is. Like, I don't know how many people eat it.
Yeah, in Mississippi and Louisiana, our stunt animal is the possum. If you can eat a possum, you really are from Mississippi, Now, if you can eat possum and the possum was roadkill, you're straight up Louisiana coon ass. They do that. Like, oh, that's fresh, and they fucking get that thing, they'd eat it,
That just got hit by that Ford Bronco.
Yeah. Now, they're probably not like that anymore, but, my dad's generation, and they were, and they would fucking brag that they were eating possum and armadillo. They had a fucking, that's even worse. All right, eating an armadillo is kind of like eating a maggot, because they're a carrion eater and they carry leprosy and shit. They're cute and all, but they're blind. They're basically blind. Their sight ain't worth shit. They don't even really have a good sense of smell, and they just home in on shit that's rotten. And they're in this
boy.
Yeah, oh man. And they can get pretty big. And they have a fucking kind of a traditional dish called diller on a half shell, which is cooked it's armadillo meat. And you mix it with basically kind of like bread stuffing, like stuffing from a turkey, and put it inside the armadillo shell, and you bake it. And when it comes out of there, man, it looks like a gigantic baked cockroach. Yeah. And
Yummy.
And it's more stuffing than anything else. I'd rather eat a possum, but still, there's not much meat on possum. Possum kind of tastes like a giant squirrel, There's no meat on a squirrel either.
I mean, I'd have to be pretty desperate before I ate a possum.
I went out squirrel hunting one time. I'd never hunt them in mass, And my dad was like, "You gonna hunt them squirrels?" Because he had hunting rights on a piece of masonite land about 10 miles from the house. I go out there, and he goes, "If you go get some squirrel meat, you gotta kill a lot of them." And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Yeah, a lot of them."
Well, they're little.
Yeah. And I was like, "All right." So I was shooting them out of the tree with a .22 and stuffing them underneath my belt. So when I got done, I had a whole fucking, like a fur skirt. A fucking,
That's so funny.
A fucking dead squirrels around my waist. I must have had about 50 of them. And fucking, my dad came back from work, and I says, and I already had them skinned and dressed. They were ready, you know. They're like little men. They're like human beings. With the tail gone and
You're like,
with the
that's a little off.
yeah.
With
the head gone, with the head gone and the fucking tail gone, and they're gutted. You know, they're like little men. And I got and I got, did you see what I got in there? Because he saw them in the kitchen. He goes, yeah, didn't get that many of them. And I said, we're talking about 50 of them. He goes, ain't nothing. And we made a stew, and really there was maybe a pound of meat in it, maybe.
Yeah.
And
seems like it's really not worth it.
Yeah, you had to kill all those little guys, you know.
And they're cute.
Yeah, had to kill, and you don't really get much in return for it.
That's what I mean. It seems better to just kill one.
Big thing. Yeah, kill a deer, and you can eat off that for weeks.
Yeah, Brandon just asked if you ever tried deer. I've had it a couple of times.
What's better than that though is caribou.
Okay, I don't think I've ever had caribou.
Oh, that's really good. My dad brought some of that back. He brought some of that back from some hunting that they did up near Canada. His friend of his had an airplane, a private airplane. They flew up there to go to a place where it was like a lodge that already had hunting guides and everything to show them where to go. Everybody got a caribou, and then they butchered them there and brought it all back in coolers and stuff. Shit was fucking outstanding. Better than any steak.
Really?
Yeah, it was kind of like steak. You know, there's no funny flavor to it or anything. You know, it was just fucking beautiful, like beef.
Yeah, some people talk about some meat being like gamey and stuff like that, but I don't have an issue with that. I think it's why a lot of Americans don't like lamb.
Yeah.
Because they always say it's like so gamey. It's like a lot more popular in Europe, but I like lamb. I never had an issue.
The meat isn't bad. It's the fat. Lamb fat has a weird fucking flavor to me. It's good in Indian food because Indian food usually has a lot of fucking powerful spices to kind of mask it, but it does kind of taste weird to me.
I don't mind it. We used to make lamb chops. I used to make lamb chops.
Yeah. And
that, you know, without anything like super spicy on them.
In my opinion, pork's much better than lamb.
Well, it's all good. Honestly.
Yeah.
Old Ressa said, was Tom's dad a redneck?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Tom does his dad's voice all the time.
Yeah, I can impersonate him.
Yeah.
I can think like he thinks, like I can invent like something that my dad would say. You know? I say it just like him, you know, when I want to. You know! And I can do it. He's at different ages. When he was real old, it was like, I don't care no more. What do you mean I don't care? But through with it. They was shocking me back of life. I came up, they would hit me with the paddles, and I was shocking me back up like that. And I was like, man, that shit hurt. And I said, you have a near-death experience, an out-of-body experience? And he goes, hell no. Darren, I didn't see nothing but oblivion. He said it like that. Oblivion. I said, oblivion, huh? He goes, just nothing.
That's fucking funny.
Yeah.
It's kind of dark, but it's also kind of funny too.
Oblivion.
He didn't see anything.
He didn't see nothing. Yeah. And he was kind of like disappointed, I could tell. I ain't see nothing.
Yeah, he's like, I was hoping it'd be like fucking, you know,
it wasn't no Jesus.
The room from like Willy Wonka. That'd have been like super cool.
Thought I'd see a Jesus or something.
Boring. Like I said, I want like Willy Wonka world or some shit like that. That'd be awesome. I don't want to just do Jesus showing up. I'd be like, nah.
Yeah. My dad was real conventional, though.
That'd be a lot cooler.
He thought the New Testament and the Old Testament were historical documents. That all that shit is just fucking accurate. You know, that all that stuff happened.
A lot of people think that.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, Cliven's saying he wants to get Area 51 and drive Route 66.
You can't get to Area 51, not Area 51 proper.
No, you can kind of go.
Roads don't go to it.
Yeah.
The roads just go to an airfield, an airport, and they fly them in there every day. The people that work at Area 51. There's a lot of shit that people don't know about that. It's Lockheed Martin and a bunch of contractors down there. It's a jet and a missile test range, and the contractors all kind of have their own little laboratories there. But the employees fly in there every day, fly in and out. There's a couple planes a day. There are probably more than a couple. Jets, man. And what a lot of people don't know is that Area 51 is also a prison. There's a lot of convicted convicts in there working as, janitors and fucking groundskeeping and drivers. If you're taking some kind of federal charge and they like you, like let's say you're in the mafia, you're a mafia person. If the government ever wanted something from the mafia, it's like, could you take care of this dude for us? Your boy Joey, we can get him out of prison and send him to a place where he'd like it a lot better, And so, okay, yeah, we'll do that. And, they go kill some dude for the fucking CIA. And the CIA has the dude moved out to Groom Lake to serve the rest of his fucking 10-year sentence. They do shit like that there. And they do that shit on purpose. Because they know that anything those convicts see when they get out, nobody would believe what they said anyway. They're not credible. People wouldn't believe anything they said. You're just some old convict making up stories. He was never at Area 51. He didn't see any fucking top secret shit.
Tammy says, my high school boyfriend was one of 12 kids, and his mom used to make squirrel and dumplings all the time.
Yeah. You just got to kill a lot of them.
I guess if you put dumplings in there to fill it out,
yeah.
I guess. I never had squirrel and dumplings. I don't think I've ever eaten squirrel.
It's not very unusual to me. It's a light meat. It's kind of tender. Kind of tastes like dark meat of the chicken. You'd probably like it.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Yeah, Iris said, I've had lamb before. It's good depending on the dish you do. Moose is also pretty tender. Downside is the meat has to cure for a few days. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had moose either.
I never had it, no.
But I like lamb. Honestly. And anytime we go to the Indian restaurant in particular, I always get lamb there because we don't usually buy it at home,
Another one I had was American buffalo, bison. You can get that. They farm raise it. People don't realize that though. But some of my dad's friends had access to it. We had some. It's kind of like beef. Really good.
Oracle said, Tom, my grandma was such a good squirrel hunter back in the day. They called her One Shot Annie.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Old Restless wants to know how you found out about convicts working at Area 51.
Well, there have been books written by people that have been there, and they said that kind of shit actually started during the what do you call it? The Manhattan Project. There's a lot of people that you need a lot of low-level functionaries, people that fix things, mop floors, groundskeeping, just mow lawns. And during Area 51, they realized that as far as security goes, the best person you could recruit for that would be somebody who is illiterate. So they made sure that the dudes that got those jobs couldn't read or write. That way they couldn't make heads or tails out of anything they saw, because they'd go into some of these classroom type laboratory looking things, and they couldn't read what was written on the chalkboards. They didn't even know the topic of what the research and what they were working on. They didn't figure it out. I think they knew it was probably some kind of bomb, but that's about it. And once that Area 51, that's really kind of what informed and trained the next generation of military defense contractors. Every one of their programs was kind of based on the Manhattan Project, which is our atomic bomb project if you're a foreigner. And that Groom Lake area it's got a couple of companies there, but I think the main one is Lockheed Martin. And what's the other one? Northrop Grumman, I think, is there. I think is what it's called. Those are the main ones. They're making missiles and jets. Probably fucking spacecraft.
Tammy brings up Rocky Mountain oysters.
Mm.
I'm not going to eat those. I'm not going to eat those. They're not oysters. That's all I'm going to say. No, I was they're... Well, what animal's testicles are they? Are they bull testicles? Cow testicles? Not cow testicles, obviously. But...
Yeah, I think they're cows. I think it's cows.
I think.
Bull.
Yeah, bull testicles. That's what I said. It's not a cow because that's female. They don't have testicles. But what was... we were watching... What's that Gordon Ramsay show where he goes, like, to different... Uncharted? Yeah. I think that's what it's called. And he was somewhere... I don't remember what episode it was. But they were making him eat goat testicles? Sheep testicles? I don't remember what it was. He was not a happy camper. I mean, he did it. Like, you know, he was game, but he was just kind of like, oh, that's weird. He had to do that, like, to be, I guess, to, like, get in with the people, you know what I mean? Because they always make you eat the fucking testicles. I don't know why. I'm not eating any fucking testicles, sorry. Our testicles the best part. Everybody that I've known that's eaten them has said that they are not the best part, that they're not good. So it's just kind of like, I think it's just one of those foods that you just give to other people on a dare just because it's funny. I don't know. Maybe some people enjoy them. I don't know. You like chicken hearts.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, in general, Americans don't like any kind of internal organ. They won't buy it. They won't eat that.
No.
I'll eat hearts, though. I like chicken hearts.
Yeah.
And I like, turkey gizzard. I like that.
I don't mind it, like, because at Thanksgiving, you usually make, like, a gravy.
Yeah, and I'll chop it up real fine and put it in
there. Yeah, like gizzards and liver and stuff like that. And, like, actually, that's good, but I don't really, like, my grandmother would just eat a big slab of liver.
Yeah.
Like, with onions. And I was, oh, man, that smelled terrible.
When it's cooked right, it's pretty good. But
yeah, I mean, I've had it before where it was okay.
Got a very strong iron
flavor.
But
yeah, it's just very, very strong flavor. And I can see how some people might like that, but I'm kind of not into it. Oh. Yeah, Oracle said some foods are an acquired taste, and I don't always want to acquire it. Yeah, and it's just kind of like, why should you need to, really? I mean, it's not like... It'd be different if there wasn't really any choice, or... that was like all you had to eat, and it's like you just kind of had to suck it up and eat it. But there's like lots and lots of other things you can eat. You don't have to eat testicles if you don't want to. And I do not want to.
Yeah. Yeah, Old Restless. I remember now where I exactly heard that they were up there. There was a book that I read about a guy who was at Groom Lake during World War II. And they were working on something, but he just said it. He mentions it in his story. I'm trying to remember what aircraft they were working on. It wasn't by today's standards anything exotic, just propeller planes and shit. And he said that he had a driver when he was there, and his driver was a mafia gangster, a young mafia gangster in his 20s. And that he would drive him around, and fucking you'd go to all the little testing and shit. But they weren't working on the atomic bomb there. They were doing aircraft. Then later on I heard that on television they showed that they had a guy who was the sole survivor. He was the last dude from the era of the 40s and the 50s that worked out there on Groom Lake. And they finally recognized the dude that he did work at Groom Lake, because he had no proof that he did. But eventually they gave him like a certificate, and they gave him some money and shit. And he said that during the time that he was there, he lived in a trailer at Groom Lake, and they had every guy there kind of had a trailer, and they had 7 or 8 of them, and they couldn't go anywhere. They had to stay there. They weren't prisoners. They were free guys. They couldn't go anywhere while they were on duty there. They would be there for like a year or 2 at a time. They were single, and they only paid them in cash. They never gave him any kind of pay stubs or anything. And he was in there for like 20 years. And he got like a retirement and everything. And eventually they reclassified him and allowed it to say that, yeah, he did work on Groom Lake type of deal. He could kind of like get public credit for it. you know. And I don't think he was even doing anything very important. He was just working there, you know. But it was like working on an oil rig, but you couldn't go anywhere. And they were just looking. He told whole stories about it. He said what kind of people that they were looking for. They were looking for people that had either done time or people that came out of carnivals, people that, you know, didn't have families, people that weren't into social life stuff, you know. Because you weren't going to have much of a life if you were out there.
Oracle says, Jenny, did you see that Late Night with the Devil is now on Hulu? I did notice that, yeah. Now, it's been on Shudder for a long time, so which I have. So, but it is cool that, like, they added it on Hulu in case, like, people don't have Shudder, and now they can actually see it. I've been meaning to rewatch it. Maybe I'll rewatch it for Halloween, because it is a Halloween movie. Senor Stick says, Tom and Jenny, would you all do Naked and Afraid? Fuck no.
Oh, that show? Yeah, nah.
It does not. Honestly, if I was gonna do a reality show to like win and like make some money, that is definitely not the one I would pick.
You know, I've lived out in the field, you know, and I was in the infantry, but they always had equipment, and they don't start you off with anything. Those people don't even have food. They don't even have shoes.
Yeah, they have nothing. They're naked.
Yeah.
And you're out there with like some motherfucker you never met before.
Yeah.
It's a good show.
Yeah, there's no telling where they're gonna put you.
Yeah, they'll just like drop you in the middle of fucking... God, remember that one? I don't even remember where they put them, but it was just kind of like fucking insect central, man.
Yeah.
And they were just both covered with welts, like from all the insect bites. And I was kind of like, yeah, no thanks. No thanks. That just really doesn't... how much do you win on that? I don't even remember.
You got to be the last one, remember?
Well, that's what I mean. You got to wait everybody else out. Yeah. And I don't even remember how much... It's like, is it even worth it?
I don't think so.
I feel like it would probably not be worth it. However much it is, it's not worth it. You know what I mean? Because I don't even think it's a set amount of time. You just have to outlast everybody else, right?
Let me go to the...
Oh, CB is flirting.
What do you think?
Jenny, you probably look fantastic naked. I'm not going on TV though. That's for fucking sure. I'll do shit. I'll do stuff online, but like put videos up. But I'm not going on fucking TV. Because the thing about Naked and Afraid is just kind of like, you're not really out there looking your best, right? It's not like you can't take your fucking makeup and your hair's all fucked up and you're all dirty and you're covered with bug bites and you got to poop in a hole and all this other kind of shit. It's kind of hard to look glamorous, like in those kind of situations. Senor Stick says, yeah, Tom would just cover himself in mud and Naked and Afraid go Predator. I thought about doing that too, and I don't understand why. Honestly, I kind of feel like, and I know that's like, you know, Monday morning quarterbacking or whatever, but it's just kind of like, because we watch it sometimes too, and it's just like, obviously I'm not in that situation, but some of the people are ostensibly like survivalists and stuff like that, but I don't understand why more people don't make shoes like immediately. It doesn't seem important until you get out there in that fucking terrain. And then, you know, the first couple hours, like, the bottoms of your feet are all torn up, and then you get blood poisoning. You know what I mean? I don't understand why more people don't make shoes. So it's like, so every time somebody's on the show, and the first thing they do is like, I'm going to make some shoes, like some flip-flops or some shit like that. I'm like, see, that is a smart person. That is a smart person. Let's see. The makeup of nature is berries and flowers. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I don't know. Like I said, I like watching other people do it and maybe like criticize how they're going about it. But, which, you know, it's easy for me to say, sitting here on my fucking bed with my snacks, go and be like, they should do this and that, you know? But, you know, to be fair, most people in those kind of situations in real life would have equipment with them. It's just like stunting to go out there with nothing and see if they can fucking figure it out. I haven't watched any of that lately. For a while we went through a thing where we like watched pretty much all of them. We were watching them all the time, but I haven't watched them in a while. Last night I was watching Halloween Wars. Because I like to watch that every year. I don't like a lot of reality shows or anything like that, but I like baking competitions where you have to make shit out of cake. And I especially like the Halloween ones. Christmas one's fun too, but I especially like the Halloween ones. So, and they have to like make these big elaborate, because Halloween Wars, you have a team and they have to have something made of cake, something made of candy like spun sugar or something like that, and something like with a carved pumpkin. So they have like a baker, a candy person, and a pumpkin carver, and they have to like make a big scene. You know what I mean? Thank you.
Yeah, that naked and afraid, that's bullshit. I wouldn't do that.
Like I said, it doesn't sound like a good time.
Yeah.
I'm too old for that shit.
The less you have, the higher the difficulty. I mean, you don't even have shoes or clothes to start with. You don't have a tool at all.
I think you can bring one thing, right?
Yeah. Each person can bring one thing.
Yeah, you can bring one thing.
Or at least one thing out of a selection they give them.
Most people bring like a fire starter thing.
Yeah.
Or like a machete or something. Or a knife. Which seems like a good thing to bring. Didn't one dude...
one tool does everything.
Didn't one dude bring duct tape?
I think so.
You brought a big roll of duct tape.
No one tool will do everything, of course.
Yeah.
So whatever you choose is going to be inadequate. You're going to have to make more tools.
Yeah.
Now, there was a tale that I read out of a book that I was reading about the Old West. And frontier type dudes of the Old West would say that it was impossible to really capture a Native American. You know, so it didn't really, you could, he said you could take everything from a Native American and just strip him down where he had nothing. Maybe just some pants and some moccasins. If you let him go, a month later he'd come right back at you and he'd have everything he needed, a horse, full equipment, weapons, and everything. So a Native American, he was totally attuned to that environment. And he knew how to deal with other Native Americans too and trade with them. And so you really couldn't, the white man, when he was walking around, really couldn't do much to those Indians. You know, we call them Indians. They weren't in India, of course. And it was just because they were just so good at what they did. Their field craft and their survival stuff was fucking excellent. They tried to enslave them, certain ones at certain times. It's not possible. They would escape instantly. Because they were in their land. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. They're like, bro, we've been here for like thousands of years. Piss off.
Yeah. Yeah, they tried to enslave some. It didn't work.
The thing that I noticed, this is not true across the board, but it's true more likely than not. More often than not. On Naked and Afraid, usually when they first introduce the people, the ones who are the biggest talkers, like, oh, I'm this and that, and I'm an expert in la la la, like, those are usually the first ones that tapped out. Not always. Sometimes, like, the real arrogant ones, like, surprised me and, like, lasted a long time, but most of the ones that were, like, more arrogant and, like, mouthy were the ones that, like, tapped out.
Well, some of them don't know what they're talking about.
Exactly, that's what I mean. Like,
they're in bed outside.
So the fact that they had to hype themselves up, like, I know how to do this and that, I'm like, yeah, no, you don't. I bet you don't. Because if you did, you wouldn't be out there shooting your mouth off about it. You would just go in there and do it. And then you would last a long time. But that's not how that works. CB said, I would go on TV, but me being naked on TV would be a crime against eyeballs. Then he said, I'd bring my underwear. Like I said, make shoes first.
Shoes would be real important, but I don't think they give you the choice of shoes.
No, I'm just saying, if, when you get on there, I always am impressed by the people that immediately make shoes.
Yeah.
Because it's like I said, it doesn't sound important.
A lot of other people don't even try.
Yeah, I don't understand that. It's like, make some fucking shoes,
what ends up happening, it's the same thing that happens when you're in the field, in the army. Sometimes people get so miserable so quickly that they become paralyzed with it.
Yeah.
And they start taking less and less action. And that's how a lot of them die. That's how people die. That's how the Donner Party got trapped. It's kind of like, it sucked, it's cold. I'm just going to stay right here. When if in the beginning, had they decided to walk back, they would have made it.
Yeah.
But they stayed too long, and now they were too weak to leave. You know? So there's kind of like a natural tendency for kind of people that aren't real experienced to do that. To kind of, man, I'm wet, I'm cold, I'm just going to sit right here and just wait it out. Because, you know, to take action, to move, it's like, oh, man.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
You know.
And then what you usually see happening on Naked and Afraid, I've noticed, is that if they don't set up, depending on where they are, like if they don't set up traps or like a trot line or something like that, like and get enough food, they don't get enough food, so they start getting more and more tired because they don't have the calories to burn because they haven't eaten enough. So then they just kind of lay around and like don't get anything done because they don't have the energy. Yeah. So they don't have the energy to go get more food because they don't have enough food. You know what I mean? So it's like this spiral. Yeah. Spiraling downward.
They found dead people out here in the wilderness here in the U.S. in their camps, inside of damn sleeping bags. You know, fucking, and then they found a dude, he's been dead for 5 years. You know. Yeah. One of them they found, dude had a broken leg. Couldn't walk out.
That would suck.
Yeah. They just found a tent pitched, and people probably saw that tent before and thought there was somebody in there asleep.
But yeah, because that's what, you know, you wouldn't think anything about it.
The dude had been in there for like 5 years. Dead.
That's pretty creepy.
Yeah.
Can you imagine coming across that? There's like a little mummified dude in there. Yikes. Senior Stick says there is a naked dating show. I've heard about that. I've never seen it, though. It's like they haven't done a naked baking show yet. That'll be the next thing. Yeah, naked cooking show. Get on it, networks. So what is the naked dating show? Is it kind of like you just have to go on a date with somebody you never met before? It's just kind of like that, because don't they have one that's called like Married at First Sight or something like that, where you have to marry some motherfucker you never met before? Or 30-Day Fiancé. They have like there's a whole subgenre. I've never seen any of them, but like I just see them come up on the streaming platform. You know what I mean? Where they're just like, hey, we're gonna arrange a marriage and see how that works out. Yeah, Senior Six says you date naked. I mean, I wouldn't do it, but I could see it's like you can't really hide anything from anybody. I guess. I don't know. Phantom says people in Vietnam eat sweet and sour cow vagina, which is a Vietnamese street food favorite.
Probably be like eating fat.
Yeah, it just seems like it would be. I mean, nothing wrong with it. I like fat. Yeah. CB says SAS Who Dares Wins is a good show.
Never heard of it.
I think you would enjoy it, Tom. And then Senior Six says, why aren't more people talking about ice truckers?
Never heard of it.
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
I've heard one called Ice Road Truckers.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
Unless there's more than one.
Yeah, that's on the History Channel. That's been around for fucking ever.
Yeah, I feel like that's been on for a long time. Yeah. Maybe not as long as... What's the one with all the dudes like out on the ship like catching crabs and whatnot?
Deadliest Catch?
Yeah. That's been on forever.
Yeah.
Is that still on?
I don't know.
I don't fucking know. Well, so that's what I mean. Like, we don't ever...
That's
we have cable, but I never watch it. Like,
we get it for free. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like with the Wi-Fi. But,
we never watch that shit.
No, if I'm going to watch shows like that, like I said, I was watching Halloween Wars, which I don't even know what... I think... Is that TLC? I don't even know what channel that's on. But, I watch it on HBO Max.
Yeah. Linear television, that's fucking extinct. I don't understand how that still exists. I mean, I guess they got enough old people out there, or poor people that don't. But the thing is that if you're so poor you can't afford a computer, then that means you can't afford fucking cable. Either. Yeah. Because cable's not cheap.
No, it's really not.
It's like $100 a month.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
And I just don't understand. Like my aunt watches that shit still.
I guess a lot of people still do. I mean,
I'm like,
it's a big country, but
how can you watch this shit? You know, and she's what? You know, they don't think, you know, she's old. She doesn't know any different. And I'm like, linear television feels so fucking dated now, where they're gonna tell you what comes on next, and they're gonna show you commercials in it, and they have a whole programs and a whole fucking of what's gonna play on that day. You can't just fucking start it and stop it when you want to do it. You know what I mean? Fucking, I'm sure you can now. You can probably pause something on the television.
Yeah, you can.
Go back and watch it. But
well, if you DVR,
I just don't know why you want. Yeah, I just don't know why you. I don't know how that business model stays in business. I just don't, because linear television, including the news, originally here in the United States, that was paid for by advertising space. It was the commercials that actually bought the show. That's where the budget of the show was coming from. Government had nothing to do with it. Even the channels really didn't have much to do with it. Like the networks didn't have much to do with what the material was. They would just choose whatever material they thought would sell. And if it didn't sell, they immediately got rid of it and put something else on there. But the revenue was coming from advertising, commercials, television commercials. But that can't be today. I don't understand how any of that shit can stay in business.
Xana says live sports is the only thing keeping cable alive.
Is that what it is?
Yep.
Okay. You would think that somebody have just an online streaming of just live sports.
Well, that's the thing. If you have, because we don't, I mean, we have cable, but we never watch it. But it's like, I have Hulu, I have Max, I have all that stuff, and they show a lot of the live stuff, like from various channels. So you can watch all the same shit. You don't have to watch it on a cable. You can watch it on like one of those platforms.
If you look at the ratings, how many views network television news programs get, you'll see that it's like nothing. A few 100,000 views. That's it. Per little segment. There are YouTube shows that get fucking 4 million, 2 million, 3 million hits. And that are free. It didn't cost anything to make those. So you were like, how is this news agency staying in business with so few viewers? Well, it's right there in the damn Patriot Act. Back when George W. Bush was in there, they brought that Patriot Act in. And they now said that it was legal for the U.S. intelligence agencies to run material and propagandize people over the networks. So now they do that, but they don't do that for free. They pay the network to put the propaganda on the network. So a lot of those shows exist because the CIA is cutting them a check. So it's not the advertisers paying for it. CIA. So during that Patriot Act thing, most of you, I think pretty much all of your network cable news shows became state-owned propaganda media. It's not independent at all. That's why they're trying to shut down everything that's independent. They only want you to listen to the CIA.
Old Restless says, are you sure there's no naked cooking show? I could see the UK doing that. And then he looked it up. He said there was a naked cooking show called Barely Cooking. And somebody said, yeah, that probably didn't last long. And he's like, yeah, 2003, 2004. Like, why? Okay. What was the justification, though, for them being naked on the cooking show?
Just because you'd watch that.
I probably would watch that at least one time. It'd probably be dumb as shit, but it's just kind of like, I was like, I would watch it as I suspect most people would. Like, I want to see, like, somebody's penis get burned by the oil popping out of the deep fat fryer. Or some shit like that. You know, there's an element of danger involved. I kind of like that.
Yeah, old Restless says they're getting my cash anyway. Yeah. They're getting your cash anyway through taxpayers.
Yeah, now Senor Stick said, wonder if there was a naked garden show. Now there's got to be like a naked version of everything. CB says WWE is going to Netflix in January 2025. Like, talking about the sports. Yeah, I kind of feel like sports are kind of migrating off of, because you can watch like all the live, like if you're into that, which I'm not, but it's like I know a lot of people are. You can watch all the live sports like on other, you don't have to watch it on cable, you can watch it on like some streaming services. Like I said, Hulu has live TV. Max, I don't know if Max has live TV, but they have like a lot of the TV shows you can watch them like just a few hours after they air, you know what I mean? Because I watch a lot of shit on there. I started watching another series, I don't know what channel it's from, but it's called Southern Gothic. It's like it's true crime, but like they talk about a different case like each episode, but it's all like Southern. So the first one that I watched was like a case from Texas, like in 1986. Xana says cable TV is shown across millions of McDonald's and airports across the nation.
Yeah, and there's somehow they get paid for that. Somehow, I think those because like somehow they're able to fucking inflate the value and the worth of their corporation or their company because they're we said, well, we have this many millions of viewers. But when you look into it, it's like, yeah, because they're playing that in hotels and they're playing that in airports. So they're not real viewers, really. It's just fucking noise fucking playing in the background.
Yeah, Senior 6 says most people who watch sports buy the sports package. Yeah, exactly. Or watch online or at a bar. And Victor says Max is streaming NBA games now, too. Yeah, I thought, like, because I knew that Hulu, their big thing is they do, like, a lot of live events and stuff like that. But, and I knew Max probably did, too. But I don't, like I said, I don't watch sports, so I don't usually.
Cable's not going to be there long. No.
Well, it was kind of like, you know what? When I was a kid in the 80s, my dad was a cable installer. He worked for Cablevision. And so we got cable for free, so we got like all the pay channels and shit like that, which I thought was like super cool. But the thing about it, even back in the 80s, you would get the cable package, and we had, I think back in the day, it was just kind of, I think we started out with like 47 channels, and then it was maybe up to like 70 channels, which doesn't sound like much nowadays, but that was like, wow, holy crap.
When we grew up with 4
but,
first.
Well, so. Yeah, like when I was a kid, there was just like, there was 3, and then like, well, no, 4, because you had PBS, that was like your local thing, and then they added Fox in the early
NBC,
80s.
ABC, CBS, and
PBS. And then Fox got added later. Yeah. Like in the early 80s or the mid 80s.
TNN.
Yeah, and then when you got cable, like it started getting more. But like I said, we had, starting in the early 80s, we had cable, which a lot of people didn't because my dad worked for the company. And even back in the 80s, me and my brother used to piss and moan because there was really only like 3 channels that we ever watched. It's like, what the hell is all this other crap? Like, why do they make you get this whole... Because you had to get the whole thing. Yeah. You had to get all the channels. I'm like, I'm never going to watch any of this shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because some of it was just like religious programming or home shopping or just shit I would never watch.
There'd be 7 or 8 of them that were home shopping.
That's what I mean. So it's like shit I would never watch. And I'm like, this is like a waste. I was like, wouldn't it be nice if you could just pick... If it was like a la carte, if you could just pick what you wanted. Right. And now we have that. Yeah. So even back in the 80s, I remember me and my brother saying, it's like, why can't we just pick the few that we want and just pay for those, like each one, and not have all this other extraneous crap that we never watch, you know? And like I said, now we kind of have that, sort of. I mean, it's you pay for streaming services, and sometimes you have to pay for more than one to get all the shit that you want. But I mean, honestly, if you just had 1 or 2, you could probably see most shit that you wanted. I feel like if you have like Amazon Prime, you could see pretty much any movie you wanted. Some of them you got to pay for. But, and then if you just had Hulu or Max, you could probably see most of the live shit if you were into that. Yeah. You don't really need a lot of... We have several. We have Netflix, we have Hulu, we have Max, we have Shudder, and Amazon Prime. And then, but there's free ones too. It's like Tubi and Pluto and stuff like that. They have a bunch of shit on there too. Tubi is actually, it's got commercials, but they have a fuck ton of movies, man. And a fuck ton of old TV shows. Like, I think they got like the old Dark Shadows, like all of that. And like, they just got like a lot of really good stuff. Like, I think they have like old Hammer House of Horror. I think that was Tubi. Like, had that on TV. And that's awesome. Oh, Phantom is suggesting that we do Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2 for the Monday review. You know what? I wouldn't mind doing that. Because I kind of feel like a lot of people shit on that movie, and I thought it was pretty good. But I haven't seen it in a long time, you know what I mean? I don't know if it was just because people wanted it to be more like the first Blair Witch, and they were mad that it wasn't found footage, or... I don't know. I remember it being pretty good. And I used to have it, I thought, on DVD somewhere. But I don't know. I don't know if I lost it in the move or if it's still around here somewhere. It might be around here somewhere. I'll look for it. If not, we can find it someplace. But... Old Restless says Netflix is doing live programming now. Is it really? I didn't even notice. Like I said, I don't usually... I kind of feel like live stuff that's... You know, that's usually sports is what people are... And I don't watch that, so it's just like that's not really something I would ever notice. Senor Stick said, do you do Shudder reviews? And will you review the Creepshow series? I thought we did. Didn't we do the Creepshow series? Or we at least did some episodes like a long time ago, right? The one that was on Shudder?
Yeah, I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure. I'd have to go back and look.
We saw him.
We did see him. I thought, but I'm pretty sure. Maybe we didn't review all of them, but I'm pretty sure we reviewed some of them at least. But yeah, I mean, I really like Shudder. It's not horribly expensive. I think it's $60 a year, something like that. And it's curated really well. Like they have like a really good combination of old shit and new shit, and they have like a lot of international stuff too. And they have series, and they have Joe Bob Briggs, which is always a plus. And they do like cool documentaries every now and then. Like they just did one. It's only 5 episodes, but they did one called Horror's Greatest, and like each one was an hour long, and they were each about a different. Like one was about, kaiju movies, and one was about horror comedies, but yeah, that was like a lot of fun. Let's see. Xander said they're selling my favorite rum-laced eggnog already. I'm so happy. We made some eggnog ice cream.
Yeah.
Last night.
I just poured it into the ice cream maker.
That's
got
the
all
thing
the
with
eggs and sugar.
Because I told him, I was like, eggnog is essentially just melted ice cream anyway.
Yeah.
So you might as well just pour it back in the ice cream maker and make actual ice cream out of it.
Yeah. I got a Cuisinart ice cream maker, man. That thing's fucking worth it.
We'll have to make some more flavors, man.
Yeah. It's got a little... It's just the thing you put... It's about that big. And it's got a bucket you can take it out of it. You keep it in the bucket in the refrigerator. It's filled with that material. It's kind of like something out of an ice pack in it. You don't see it. It's all sealed in there. And then you put that in the machine and put the top on it, the paddle, and then the top on that. It's clear. You can see through it, and it leaves an open hole on the top of it. And once it's running, it has a switch. It just turns. You just pour that ice cream solution, which I use. We've been using eggnog. Fill it about halfway up. Come back there about an hour later, and you're gonna have fucking fantastic ice cream. I even had fresh eggnog. I even had fresh nutmeg. I cracked them open and got the little center out and fucking grated it in there. Man, shit was good.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. I don't really like drinking eggnog because, like I said, it's kind of like drinking melted ice cream, which is kind of gross. But in ice cream form, it's quite delightful.
Yeah.
We should put some booze in there next time. Can we do that?
No, it won't work.
It won't work?
Oh.
We'll just pour booze in there afterwards.
It's going to change like the freezing point, and then
that's true.
It's not going. Wouldn't be right.
Senior Stick said, "Is Joe Bob still active?" Yes, he is. He does Joe Bob's Drive-In, and I don't know if they show it anywhere else, but it's still on Shudder. And he does a Halloween one, and he usually does a Christmas one, and then he does like a few other ones like throughout the year, and they're usually long. It's usually like a double feature, like 2 movies, and then there'll be like a whole bunch of him and Darcy the mail girl like talking like in between, so it'll be like 3 or 4 hours long. It's like pretty fun. I haven't seen all of them, but I try to watch them, you know what I mean. Yeah, John Gora said there was so much hysterical ill will towards Blair Witch 2 that the original creators tried to sue because they felt it sullied their legacy. I saw it in the theater. It wasn't that bad. It was kind of cool. Yeah, I kind of liked it, honestly. Phantom was asking us to do Blair Witch 2 for the Monday review. Yeah. But like I said, I'll see. I thought I had it on DVD somewhere, but I don't know where it is. So I'll see if it's available anywhere. Or, I don't know what we're going to do. Well, the thing about it is Monday, that's the last movie review before Halloween. So maybe we should pick something like Halloween-ish. Well, I guess that's kind of Halloween-ish.
Yeah, they're saying that foreigners don't appreciate eggnog. They're savages. It's easy to make. Just that there's a lot more sugar in there than you think. Than, if I remember correctly, it's the ratios are 1 cup of milk, a half a cup of sugar, 2 eggs, a little bit of vanilla, and then blend it. So that's a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
A lot of sugar and a lot of eggs. So for every 1 cup of milk, there's a half a cup of sugar and 2 eggs. That's why it's so thick. But that's pretty much ice cream.
Yeah. Like I said, it's kind of like just drinking.
Pretty much ice cream, yeah. Although, I think most ice cream recipes are going to call for cream, not milk. But you can use milk in ice cream for making soft serve and shit like that. But if you want a real stretchy ice cream, you want to use as much cream as possible.
Yeah, I like chewy.
Extra eggs, it'll almost be chewy if you got eggs in it. a little bit more eggs. And
so what was that kind we got? That kind you get at the dollar store is kind of chewy like that.
Yeah, but that's actually not ice cream.
No, it's not.
In the United States, you can't call that ice cream.
Frozen dessert.
There's not enough cream in it. They got to where you cannot call something ice cream unless it's cream made out of cream.
Well, that's fair.
And kind of some of those big tubs that you're like, man, that's cheap, man. It's only like $4 for that big old fucking tub of ice cream. It's good ice cream. It does kind of have a nice chewiness to it. It's got a good texture.
Like I said, I like
the flavor's good, but it's made with milk. All right. But to get that creamy texture, they've added vegetable shortening.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah,
because that's the cheap shit.
Cheap. Yeah, basically Crisco.
You get it at the Dollar General.
That's why the calories are so much higher.
Yeah.
All right.
You're just like eating Crisco.
Yeah. It's got vegetable shortening in it.
Crisco.
They're making an analog. They're making an artificial cream.
Yeah.
By blending milk and vegetable oil. Yeah, it works though. It's just that the nutrition isn't the same.
Not that ice cream's all that nutritious anyway, but you know what I mean.
Right, real ice cream would be a lot more
well, yeah,
be a lot more nutritious because you're not dealing with all that fucking polyunsaturated fucking vegetable oil fat. You know what I mean? Fucking just regular animal fats are better for you than vegetable fats. Your body can break down animal fats a lot easier. So no, we eat it though.
Well, yeah.
It's just you just pay a higher caloric penalty.
Well, if we're too lazy to go down to Publix and get the good shit, I mean, we can just go next door if we really want some ice cream.
Yeah.
You just go next door to Dollar General. They only have like 3 flavors. They got vanilla chocolate, and Neapolitan.
Yeah.
That's all they got.
Yeah.
Like in a big tub.
That company makes more than that though. It's just that Dollar Store doesn't.
That's all they got. Yeah.
Dollar General doesn't order anything up but those. Like they make a strawberry. I think that company even makes a mint chocolate chip. And they also make a cookies and cream.
I love mint chocolate chip.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite flavors.
They probably make a better butter pecan, too.
I also like butter pecan.
Really, in the South, the traditional fucking flavor is butter pecan. That's fucking super popular in the South. I don't know if the South invented it, but it was... But another one that we have in the South that I know it's from here is pralines and creams ice cream.
Yeah, that's good, too.
Yeah. There's not pralines, it's pralines, all right, which is sugar and butter candy. It's kind of like
can't go wrong with sugar and butter.
Yeah, it's kind of like toffee, but it's slightly gritty and breaks apart almost kind of like a really super thick cake frosting, but it's just butter and sugar. So like caramel kind of. Imagine if caramel was so thick that when you bit into it, it was kind of almost more like fudge. That's what it's more like that. And then it's that with pecans in it, crushed pecans, because pecans are everywhere in the South.
I love pecans.
Yeah. And pralines, you can. They're not. They'll eat them kind of like cookies, but not so many of them. They're just a Southern candy. Make it on wax paper. I haven't made any in a long time, but man, you get the hypoglycemic shock. It's all fucking sugar.
Victor just said praline pecans from Buc-ee's is 2,000 calories a bag.
Yeah,
and I'll eat them in one night.
Yeah, yeah.
I probably would too. Honestly.
It's easy to make. You're just cooking. You're just slowly adding sugar into basically molten butter, melted butter. You just keep layering it in there. It's kind of like you're making.
Yummy.
I don't remember all the process. I'd have to read back up on it, but I don't think I put it in the cookbook. But once the pralines are made,
put pralines in there?
Once they're made, you can cut them up and crack them up into pieces. And then your ice cream maker, about that last 5 minutes, you say, okay, it's good. It's got about another 5 minutes. You can put all the pralines and create all the pralines into that vanilla ice cream, and it'll become pralines and cream ice cream.
Ooh, maybe we should make that next time.
Yeah. I got the eggs. I haven't really fucked with it. I just got it. So I've only first.
We've
thing is-
only done eggnog ice cream so far.
because
it's easy.
It's
You
seasonal.
just pour
You
eggnog.
just pour it in there.
You don't have to do anything else.
But I got a lot of berries. Some berry ice cream I'd like to make. I'd like to make some chocolate ice cream, and that's nothing. Just going to be cocoa powder in it.
You could make me some mint chocolate chip.
If I could figure out how to make it, you probably need some kind of dye for that.
Well, it doesn't have to be green because
Yeah.
Publix their
Should be
mint chocolate
white,
chip
right.
is white.
White, yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't have anything to do with mint. That's just
Right.
food coloring.
Yeah, it's just color. And then I'd probably put Nestle's Toll House.
Yeah, you can just
Cookie
put
chips.
Chola's cookie chips in there. Just put some peppermint oil in there.
Or I would put the semi-sweet chocolate chips.
Yeah, because I think in mint chocolate chip, I think it is there because they're not super sweet.
No.
Not milk chocolate. I think
It's
that's the
semi-sweet.
semi-sweet chocolate chips.
Yeah.
Because it works better
Yeah.
with the.
So it's probably just mint flavoring.
Yeah,
It'd be just like making vanilla. You just put a couple drops of mint in it.
yeah. Just put Which I put
Yeah.
some of that in my coffee sometimes, but
Yeah.
only need a tiny bit. It's
Yeah.
very, very strong. Senor Sticks asked, would we try exotic ice cream like Earl Grey tea or Grey Poupon or something like that? Not so much with the Grey Poupon. I wouldn't mind the tea ice cream because
A lot of tea ice cream.
there's a lot of tea ice creams that I've had, like, because that's very popular in like Asian,
green tea.
like green tea ice cream and stuff like that, which is actually delicious.
Yeah. Red bean ice cream's really
Yeah.
good. Chinese love that.
Yeah, they have that at like a lot of Chinese
Yeah.
restaurants.
And you would go, it's beans. So yeah, it doesn't taste like beans. It's sweet.
Yeah,
It's-
it doesn't
it's red.
taste like what you think it would taste like.
No. Another one that's good that is pretty fucking weird was a Brazilian one called milho verde, which means green corn. And it's a green ice cream that's sweet and has a corn flavor to it. It's really good.
That sounds kind of good, actually.
Yeah.
Because
Green
corn is kind of sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's even sweeter. And it's like candy corn. Really good.
I think I'd
Yeah.
be into that.
It's a Brazilian flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can
That
make
sounds
some.
That sounds
I'll
good.
see if they can make it. The ice cream. I'm sure they can make it in an ice cream maker.
There's an ice cream place in downtown Disney, and they have like regular flavors, but then they always have like 2 or 3 like weird ass like stunt flavors, but they have like different ones like every single day. And I think when I was there with my siblings one time, I can't remember what because me and my brother were like remarking on it because I think he had it, and he's like, it's not as bad as you think, but it's not great.
You know what
what
I'm
I mean?
make? You know what I'm gonna make?
What's that?
I'm gonna make some black licorice ice cream.
Okay, well you can eat that.
You don't like black licorice?
No, I don't.
Oh, I thought you liked licorice. Okay.
No.
Then I won't make it. Or I'll eat it for myself.
Yeah, you can make it.
'Cause,
I don't care if you make it. I'm just saying, don't
that
make
would
me
just
eat
be
it.
anise flavoring and some black food.
Yeah,
coloring.
Xander said no one likes that shit.
I love fucking. Shut the fuck up, Xander.
Tom does.
Fucking black licorice ice cream's the fucking best.
Black licorice is like
Oh,
it's a pretty controversial.
Fucking
Not
love it.
controversial, but there's certain types of people that like it, and most people don't. But
Yeah, like black licorice.
I don't hate it. It's
Yeah.
just not. I would never choose it if there was other things available.
Baskin Robbins used to have black licorice ice cream and pumpkin ice cream, 2 separate ones for Halloween. They're really good.
Now pumpkin ice cream is good.
Yeah,
Senor Stick says, "Why don't you get an ice cream maker, Tom? We do have one.
we do have one.
We
What do you
just
think I've been
we just
talking
got
about?
one. Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
That's what I've been talking
We
about.
made eggnog ice cream
Yeah,
with nutmeg in it.
I got a good one, man. I got a Cuisinart.
Black licorice and pineapple.
No,
Tom would probably eat that.
no. If you're gonna eat black licorice ice cream, you just eat it alone. Maybe you put some of that damn black licorice in it. Pieces of black licorice in it. It'd be good too. I'd probably put some of that Swedish licorice or that shit from Norway where it's almost kind of like eating beef jerky. It's almost meat-like. It's just really good. There's no black licorice like that here in the United States.
Well, they're real into it over there.
Yeah. Oh, it's just really good.
I mean,
It's real chewy and it's real savory. It's real savory taste. And it's not sweet. It does have some sweet to it, but it's,
I always kind of tease Tom about him and his old man candy. Because every time we're going to the movies, and you don't want to buy the candy at the movie theater because it's like $6, right?
Yeah.
So you go to CVS and you get the 2 for $3 boxes. You know what I mean? You get a whole bunch of them and you just like sneak them in your pockets.
And it's movie candy. Everybody knows that's what that candy's for.
They just put it right in the front. Movie candy.
Yeah. Put that in your pocket. Go to the movies.
Or your purse or whatever. So I'll usually get some snow caps or some peanut M&Ms or some shit like that. But Tom always gets Juji fruits.
Juji fruits and Mike and Ike's.
Yeah. And I'm just like, but at least we don't steal each other's candy because I'm like, I'm not eating that crap. Well, now, if you get Starburst, I'll eat that. I do like Starburst. But
another old man candy that I like is fucking Junior Mints.
Oh, no, I do. I like Junior Mints.
I like those.
I wouldn't usually buy them. But if somebody had offered me some, I'd be like, okay.
Another old man candy I like is fucking Boston baked beans. Remember those?
God, yeah, I remember
those candies, little red fucking candies.
Wait, what flavor are those?
Bean flavored, I don't know. Sugar flavored.
Sugar.
I
always kind of wondered. I'm like, I never. They look kind of gross, so it's like I never got any. But
that's a good old man candy.
I'm like, what fucking flavor is that?
Just super retro.
I don't even know if they make, because there's a lot of retro candy that they still sell, you know, that I thought they didn't even make anymore.
Lemon heads, remember those?
Yeah.
I used to fucking love lemon heads.
Those are right. I like anything I like lemon flavor.
Yeah.
So it's like those aren't so bad. I'm just not real into. I don't like licorice. I don't really like. I don't really like fruity candy. Like I said, other than Starburst, I like Starburst, but not really into fruity candy.
That's right, Xanadu.
Or gummy candy. I don't really like.
I mentioned Red Hots. I used to like those too. Red Hots and hot tamales.
Yeah, I remember those. I think they still make those.
Yeah, hot tamales. They were just Mike and Ike's, but they were cinnamon flavored.
Yeah.
And they were kind of hot. Love those. Now they got 3 or 4 different flavors of fucking Mike and Ike. They got tropical ones and fucking.
Well, yeah, gotta explain.
I like the classic shit. So bring me the fucking old man classic shit.
The one that's like pink and black and white.
Yeah, I don't like change that much when it comes to candy.
Are you out there, old man, yelling at Cloud?
Yeah.
Don't change my Mike and Ike's.
Well, you know, there's a lot of misconceptions in Europe. You know, your chocolate in America isn't good. No, that's Hershey's chocolate you're talking about. We got all kinds of fucking candy and chocolate here that other companies make and stuff.
Ghirardelli is the shit.
Yeah, we also have like European stuff here too. You know, we get everything.
Yeah, you can get. Honestly, even in our Publix out here in the middle of fucking nowhere, you can buy British candy bars.
Yeah. They
got Aero bars. They got fucking. They don't have walnut whips, unfortunately, but they got the British Kit Kats. They got. What else they got in there? What's that other thing?
I don't know.
I
didn't see it.
But yeah, like it's pretty easy to get all that stuff. Like I said, even most Publixes have a little section that has British groceries. They have the candy, they have the brown sauce, they have all that kind of stuff. They got custard creams, they got all that. It's like pretty easy to get. Camp Guy said best homemade ice cream I ever made was from the label of an Eagle brand sweetened condensed milk can. I don't have the recipe anymore. Well, that's a shame. We're going to have to make some more ice cream, man.
Yeah. I want to get more into it. I'm going to study up on it because I just got the thing, so.
Yeah, sugar babies. Oh, man.
Yeah, I remember those. Sugar babies were good.
And weren't like sugar daddies? Weren't they like on a stick? Yeah. Wasn't it like a rectangle on a stick?
Yeah.
It was like hard caramel, right?
That's Sly saying that. That's right.
I remember those. Those were pretty good.
Sly's talking about Boston baked beans, sugar babies, and the now-and-laters. He says those are excellent choices. Yeah, the now-and-laters, they were hard, man. The old ones were so hard when you were a kid, they tried to pull your teeth out.
I did kind of like now-and-laters.
Yeah, now-and-laters were good. They were cheap, too.
You know what's weird? Here's one thing where it's like kind of opposite. Where it's like when I was a kid, I really did not like... You remember Bit of Honey?
Yeah, I like those. I like that.
Like, I didn't like those when I was a kid, but I got some when I was older. I don't know, or somebody gave me some or something like that, and I was like, wow, these are pretty good.
It's peanut butter taffy.
Well, it's... Yeah. Kind of.
That's what it is. It's taffy.
Well, I know it's taffy, but it's honey. It's not peanut butter.
Honey with peanuts.
Is it peanuts?
Yeah.
I didn't even remember there being peanuts.
Yeah, well, it's got that kind of peanut butter, kind of like... Yeah, it's got peanut in it. Mm. It's like a mixture of peanut butter and honey. There's a lot of fucking off-brand candy that was good here, like the Clark bar, the Zero bar,
I love Zero bars.
Yeah,
they still have those. You can still find them every now and then.
The Uno bar was another good one. The Reggie bar with Reggie Jackson. They don't make that one anymore.
Yeah, no, they don't make that anymore.
It was basically a turtle.
Which nothing wrong with that.
It was about what it was. It was like a turtle, which was just caramel over peanuts. I believe it was peanuts. It might have been pecans, but I think it was peanuts.
I'm pretty sure.
And then covered in chocolate. It was about that big. It was almost kind of like a
$100,000
bar.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
I mean, caramel chocolate and peanuts. I mean, that's a pretty
$100,000 bar
pretty
had
winning
fucking
combination.
Rice Krispies in it though.
That's right.
Yeah,
I forgot about that. I always forget. Like, there's so many different candy bars that have come.
I used to eat them fucking Reggie bars in the '70s, man. I was a kid. That shit was new. And then they came out with Toffee Fay.
Now they still make those too, because I get them every now and then. Those are actually really good.
Yeah, I was getting them when I was a kid. These are good. They got a little fucking
like
hazelnut in them. It's a caramel cup with fucking a hazelnut in it, some nougat and chocolate on top.
Oh, I will eat some hazelnut.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Xanada said I always buy Lindt Belgian white chocolate. Oh yeah. I love white chocolate. Pixie sticks.
Yeah. You'd be drooling into the pixie stick though, and it would get clogged up.
Yeah.
Because you're a kid, you couldn't control the fucking drool. You have to cut the end of it off so you can get some more pixie dust out of it. I'm talking about the giant pixie stick. It was about 3 feet long, made out of plastic. They had the little paper ones; those are easy. But
yeah, that they had those bigger ones that they would give
giant
you,
pixie
around
stick.
like Christmas and stuff.
Yeah.
CB said, "Do you guys have flying saucers sweets in the U.S.? I don't think they sell those over here. I saw them when I was in the U.K., but I don't think I've never seen them here. Like I said, we do have a lot of British candy. You can usually buy British candy at Publix, but it's not a huge selection because they have like a lot of candy over there.
Yeah.
But
Sly mentioned that Clark bars were almost better than Snickers, and he's laughing. Yeah, they were like a Snickers kind of, but the nougat was whiter. It was whiter nougat, and it didn't quite have the same texture as a Snickers bar. But you could tell they were trying to be something like between a Snickers bar and a fucking Three Musketeer. It's kind of like that, kind of. I don't remember if it had. It didn't have any caramel in it though. I don't think it was just. I think it was just nougat covered in chocolate. I think it might have had peanuts in it. I haven't had one in a long, long time. If I see one, I'll buy one. I remember it being kind of chewy.
Picture says the Milka Oreo candy bar was the best one I had in Europe. It's just a bar of chocolate-covered Oreos. Ooh, that sounds good. Milka, I actually really like the Milka, like the white chocolate bars, like that you get in the UK. I like those a lot too. You can get those here too, because I just saw one in Publix just yesterday.
So I'm talking about Pop Rocks now. Yeah, I remember Pop Rocks.
Yeah, I remember Pop Rocks.
When Pop Rocks had fucking appeared, kids were freaking out over them. They're like, "Babe, be careful. If you swallow all that at once, it'll go into your stomach and it'll kill you. It'll blow you up." And then they tell you all these stories. That a kid who
if you drink Coke at the same time, like his
and
stomach
blew up and
exploded.
killed him. Yeah,
there was an urban legend going around. I remember that.
But I remember we used to pour them things in our mouth and they start popping and like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh shit, my head's getting
And you see, we had these also things called snap caps, which is like a piece of paper. It looked like a little tadpole, but it had dust in there. And so if you threw it on the ground, it would go pop. Called snap. If you could crush them in your hand, and they would go pop in your hand, and if you were, it'd kind of leave a burn mark on you too. You know? But we used to have Pop Rocks and then fucking throwing the snap caps at the same time. It's like they went together. Get them from the fucking convenience store, Mexican convenience store in L.A. They had all that shit. They had all the Mexican candies too, like the little green, red, and white fucking sucker that was shaped like an umbrella.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, those Mexican umbrella candy. They'd have things like a bag of dried shrimp, bag of salted prunes. They had all kinds of fucking weird shit to make. We'd eat it though. Yeah.
Talking about Goo Goo clusters and O. Henry bars.
Oh yeah, O. Henry. I remember those.
I gotta go pee, and then we probably should start.
It's almost right time for us to go.
Going because it's almost 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
I gotta go to the bathroom though.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna maybe I'll get some candy on the way out of here. Pat talking about all this candy. But we're gonna yeah, it's funny, those old retro candy. Boston baked beans. You can get generic ones here at the Dollar General store. They come in a big fucking clear bag. It probably has the equivalent of maybe like 3 packs of them in there for like $1. What would be boxes, you know? Had a lot in there. That shit's fucking good, man. But it's all sugar. Yeah. Yeah. It's no wonder we fucking actually survived eating all that shit when we were a kid. Sitting there just basically just pounding lots of sugar. Remember Zots? Y'all remember Zots? It was like a fucking sucker candy. And in the center of it, it had a powder that would react with your saliva and it would start foaming. That was good too. They had like apple flavored Zots, grape ones, watermelon ones, cherry ones. They were good. I haven't seen those in a long time. They came in a long row of plastic, each one of them in that thing individually wrapped. You could break them. You could break one off at a time and open it. It made a big mess. Sots. Here's another one that y'all fucking probably remember. Bottle caps. They came in a little flat bag, green, with a fucking cartoon fucking bottle cap with a face on it. And they were kind of like, they were good. They were kind of like sweet tarts. Shaped like the coconut, or kind of like a Coca-Cola bottle cap.
I remember those.
Yeah. All right, we go ahead and shut it down, Jen. It's
it's
time.
We gotta get going.
Yeah.
Because our shit starts at 9:30 and it's about a half-hour drive.
Go ahead and shut it down. And I'll start getting ready.
Yeah, it was a little short this evening, but you know, we gotta go. Yeah. So we'll be back on Monday. Not really sure what movie we might do Blair Witch 2. We'll see how it goes. Or we'll see what mood we're in tomorrow or Sunday night or whenever we get around to watching the movie. I kind of wanted to do something kind of Halloween adjacent, but we'll see how that goes. It'll be a surprise. You know what I mean? To us as well as to you. All right, so thank you everybody for hanging out with us briefly this Friday night. Have a good weekend, y'all, and we'll see you again on Monday